Hello, and welcome to another Technique Tuesday with Janet. Today we're going to make a cheater bow, an easy bow to make to put on your projects that'll give them a little bit of extra pizzazz. So what you're going to do is I usually use 1.5" ribbon for these, but you can use any size ribbon you want. It kind of depends on your project and how much space you have on that project to put the bow. I'm going to cut, and then what size you want also depends on how much you cut, but I'm going to cut a 24-inch strip here to show you. This is the size I use for most of my projects because they all generally are in the same size range. And then I've got another piece of bow, another type of bow that's a small 5/8 inch or 7/8 inch bow that I'm going to use for my knot. Let me get this secured here. So for that, I'm only going to cut off a 9-inch piece of ribbon. It'd be nice if we could do this smaller, but it's really hard to tie any smaller. You end up cutting off a lot of that in the end, but I have not yet figured out how to tie it with any smaller size of ribbon. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to tie our knot. We're going to keep those handy, I guess. We're going to tie our knot, so I'm just going to loop it around my fingers and tie a knot in the middle. Just a knot. And you can make it as tight or as loose as you want. I usually leave mine pretty loose. And that's all there is to that piece. We're just going to attach it here in a little bit. And then we're going to do the center of our bow. And these are actually pretty easy to do, is if you make the awareness ribbon symbol. You can see here the up and around and back around. And then tuck this back piece down underneath the center. That basically makes your bow. And you can adjust it so that you've got your loops really even and your tails the size you want them. I usually go for a little bit bigger loops and smaller tails. And then depending on how you're doing at the time, you can clip it. I have a little clip here that I bought from Dollar Tree. Clip it in the middle until you're ready for it, but I already have my knot made, so I'm ready. I also have a piece, and this one I'm going to be using on a it's better, I guess. This one I'm going to be using on a breadboard, so I have a piece of pipe cleaner that I've got that I'm going to use to make the to attach it to the breadboard. I'm having a little trouble here getting it the size I want it, but as you can see, I just keep adjusting as we go. Okay, there, that's better. That's much better. There we go. Okay, so I've got it the size I want it. I've got it all held together. I put some string or pipe cleaner around the middle if I wanted the extra help holding it, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to put a little dot of glue on the front here because I want to make sure that my knot stays in position. So I'm going to put my knot there and pull it back and around. Now then, I am going to lay my bow down here. I'm going to lay a piece of pipe cleaner across this. So that's going to be used to attach it to the breadboard when the time comes. And now I'm going to put a good sized dab of glue back here, kind of go down in between there, but basically come up on the top. And I'm going to get me a finger protector here because glue comes through, the heat of that glue comes through the ribbon pretty well. So I'm going to pull this across and using the finger protector push it down there really good. Okay. Let dry for a second, and then I'm going to slide my scissors in and just trim this off. It's pretty close here. I don't want any extra sticking out, but I'm going to be careful and not cut my other ribbon. Then I'm going to put another dab of glue here and my string and pull this other piece across and let it lay there again, holding it for a few seconds. I usually, and I didn't do it this time, I usually cut this piece of ribbon first so that I have the edge down underneath and I don't have any fraying. So I'm going to pull it up a little bit and cut back a little further than I normally would. I'll have to clean my scissors because I did that. But that way I get And I'm actually going to put a little dot of glue on the outside here and kind of move it around with that silicone finger, because I don't want it to fray back here. Okay, and then I can pull this back and it'll wrap around I don't have a breadboard here. I have a window. We'll use the window. What I have close. You can use it to wrap around the window. We'll do it in the middle here. Say we wanted to put a bow up here on our window, up around our window, and then just twist on the back to hold our bow in place. And that's all you have to do to get a nice, cute little bow. You can use the top of your project and the middle of your project, and if you're doing the breadboards or the door hangers, make sure you get a nice knot, and you can put a piece of Velcro there and push the license plate on the center of that bow when you want. That's all there is to making a cheater bow. Glad you could join us today.